Good morning.
Good morning. Here we are with Regenerate, Don't Degenerate. We're going to do some more exercises. We've had a great week of exercises. We're going to finish up with some stretches today. We're kind of in a recoup mode a bit. We've done some hard exercises. We're letting our body come back to normal. We've pushed it hard. We're going to do some stretches to help it today. Glad you're here with me. Now, because we're doing stretches, you've got to have gotten warmed up first. So please get yourself warmed up. If you haven't, pause this. Do at least 5 minutes of warm up. If you can do more, that would be great. But you want to be warmed up for today. I know we're warmed up, and that's where it should be. I'm going to get a little bit of help here for this first stretch that we're going to do. Oh, she's got something.
Teacher.
Yes.
The flu's going around. The sicknesses are going around. Our bodies have been fighting different things. Make sure that even if you're sick and you're laying in bed, because I know last year I had influenza.
Tell you what, why don't we pause what you're saying for a second? I'm going to show this first one, and while we're doing it, you can talk and tell about it. The first stretch we're going to do is we're going to get our hands behind our backs, and we're going to be pulling this arm up, and then we're going to pull the other arm down here. Okay, tell your story.
You're assuming I can talk and do this.
I have high hopes.
All right. Anyway, even if you're laying in bed for 2 weeks, which is what I was doing, you can stretch those legs and those arms. You don't want them to go completely bad.
Let's switch and let's pull this one down. Pull it down.
We hope you do not get illnesses that bad, but if you start getting illnesses, we started on elderberry this week. It was amazing how good it did.
I'm sure it's been part of our recuperation. We're going to switch arms now, or switch sides. We're going to use our very same arms, no difference on the arms. Okay, pull that other, the lower arm, be pulling it up. Pull it up as far as you can.
If you can only do to here, then
do what you can do.
Put your arm back there and let it go.
And if we're going longer than you can handle, pause. You don't have to keep doing it. Okay, let's pull down on the one that's up. See how far you can pull it down? How's that doing for you there, Rinda girl? Is that pulling it down real well?
Because we haven't done these stretches every day, this arm that wasn't hurting anymore is a little bit. And
you know, the challenge is you don't want to do the same thing every day. But what you're going to find, now we're going to do a test here.
Oh, he's crazy good at that.
Look at that.
See how bad I am? I did touch, but...
Turn around, let me see how close you are. I gotta see.
I did touch, here.
Ooh! Well, turn this hand over like this.
No. Oh, look at that!
Who'da thunk? There we go, that's
but
great.
Not the other way.
Not the other way.
The other way, this is my hard one to put on.
Okay, I'm challenged here in this studio because of where I am. But we're going to be doing, if you have a doorway, I can't face the camera. Well, I guess I can do it this way. If I'm going to pretend like this is a doorway, I'm putting my hand up here, and I'm going to stretch myself into it. So I'm pushing myself forward. So you want to push yourself that way.
Okay.
So you're stretching against what's in this arm here.
Okay.
So if you have a doorway, it makes it a lot easier. You can stand in the doorway and do it.
I'm putting my arm against the wall and pushing forward, and that pulls right in here.
Yeah, we're getting that stretch in there, and it's doing some on your shoulder blades as well. We're getting that stretched out. We're stretching it good. But this is what we need, right? Stretch it as far as you can. Okay, let's release it. I'm turning my back to the camera. Sorry, I'm going the other side. And I'm stretching that arm back. Getting a good stretch into that arm. So that it's the upper arm and that shoulder helping that mobility, putting it into a stretch position that it's not normally going to. As we do very little, this is an area that we don't get a lot of stretch in. And when we're lifting, going up over our head, doing a lot of actions that require some reaching, we find ourselves to where we're just not, we don't have the range of motion and the strength and the ability to do it. So it limits us. So by doing that stretch, we're getting those muscles activated, stretched out more, and able to do a lot more for us. This is one that we do a lot. It's the neck flexion. So we don't want our head tipping forward. We're going to get it back over our shoulders. And we're going to move it out to the side, and we're going to hold it there. Let our shoulders shrink down, slink down. How's that? Let them relax.
So I'm pulling my head in and then turning it. I'm not just turning my head, pulling it in like a turtle and then over to the side and hold it.
A little bit more out to the side. Now stretch it out if you can. A little more stretching. Just let it come back up. Let that equalize. Now pull it back in and go the other side. Letting that stretch out like it needs to. Getting good stretch in here. Pushing ourselves to our shoulder over here. Go as far as you can. Don't force it, don't hurt it, but move it over there as much as possible. All we're trying to do is improve a little bit. Just keep it activated. Okay, let's come on out of that. Let's take our heads back now. We're looking back, we're looking up, and as far as we can, we're keeping our posture erect, core engaged, relaxing our shoulders, letting our head tip back, and we're breathing, keeping that oxygen coming in. Our muscles need that oxygen to keep doing what they're doing. A little bit more back like this. Hold it back as long as you can. If it gets too much, let go. Come up straight. Okay, let's come out of it. Let that relax just a moment. Kind of move it around, because that's being back like that.
That was good.
Yeah, it does funny things, doesn't it? Okay, we're going to tip our heads forward so our head is back, and then we're tipping down. Tipping down here, chin to chest. Keeping this to where we're getting a good stretch back here, good motion going on. We're not hurting anything, we're just helping it increase its range of motion, getting those muscles stretched out to where they're more available when we need them to be. Just a little bit more if you can do it. Just a little bit more. Okay, let's let that come out of that. We're doing great. Next, we're going to be doing the hamstring stretch. First one side and then the other. So get your legs as far apart as you can. Don't hurt yourself. Don't get yourself off balance. If you've got to have your foot out at an angle to keep your balance, that's great. It'd be better if you had a chair or something to balance on and try to line your feet up. You'll get more stretch in your leg.
All right.
So we're going to stretch it out. Heel is into the ground, foot's fully flat, and we're pushing it into the ground and stretching it out as best we can, and lean it forward. Now she's going to explain her part.
So keeping one foot on the floor, one foot up, flexing this toe towards you. It immediately pulls the hamstrings in here. So hold it.
Try to keep yourself erect, those of you who are standing up. We're leaning our body forward, but keeping ourselves erect, keeping our posture like it needs to. Okay, let's come out of that and let's switch over to the other side.
We can't hold it as long as
I understand. It's a lot harder. I get it. So we're stretching that leg out. It's from top to bottom, getting good stretch in all those muscles. Something we need. This is going to help our back, I promise. This is great for your back. You feel it in your leg, but the effect is in your back. And if you can let go of that chair a little bit and try to balance yourself, this is good for helping you on your balance as well. Everything we do works on our balance, obviously. There are some different movements and positions, okay, we can come out of that we can do that's going to work only on our balance, but these stretches are great for your legs. Your muscles have got to be available for whatever you're doing, whether you're balancing, walking, lifting, pushing, whatever you might be doing. You need those muscles to be fully capable of being totally activated, and that's what we're working toward here today. So this next one, if you can lock your hands together behind your back, that's great. If you can't, get them as far as you can, as far as you can.
We're just going to move them back here because we're in a wheelchair.
The name of this is called tip over tuck.
Tip over tuck.
So feet about shoulder width apart. We're going to lean forward as far as we can, picking those hands up and pushing us over. Now, you can flex your knees, but you are going to feel some stretch in your hamstrings again. But this is mostly for your back and your shoulder blades.
All right, so the easy one for you is to just put your hands down and move forward. And you can see my hands going up. They are not together. So as you are able to do more, when you get them up here, put them together, which is a completely different move. It pulls a lot on your shoulders.
We can slowly come up out of that. That was quite a movement, wasn't it? That does some things for you. I'm feeling it in my arms, my back, my shoulder blades, my legs.
Yeah, it's way different sitting.
Spread your feet apart.
Because
stand up and spread your feet apart and see how that feels. I just want you to feel that.
Okay, but when you're sitting and you do it, I don't know, it's stretching weird. So I would say don't put your hands together.
Okay.
When you're sitting, because it's
well, if you have shoulder issues, that's an issue.
Yeah, just put your hands
and
down.
what you might do for working up to that, whether you're sitting or standing, is just pull them in here and pull them as far as you can together. Every day, do that a little bit, just a little bit, and work at that.
Yeah. I'm not saying you can't, but it really pulls. So you're not going to want to do it from day one to put them.
Right. No, just put them back as far as you can.
Movement.
And keep increasing that. Keep working at it to where you get that mobility. Because if you have tight shoulders, that's a really tough one. But if you have tight shoulders, you're restricted in a lot of your movements. So doing that can help increase that range of motion.
And I know this is a stretch, but what if they did it actually as an exercise where they kept...
It's a great exercise. Yes, I agree. I agree. We're doing stretches today, but this is something. While you're sitting there watching TV, the show's a little bit boring and you're like, man, I'm going to sleep. Just start doing that kind of thing. Start doing that kind of thing. There's nothing wrong with it. There's no rules against it, and it's going to help you. My goodness, it's a win-win.
Hey, high five here.
Okay, we're going to do a calf stretch now. So this is where same kind of stance, but we're going forward out here to get this calf stretching. Now it's going to work on here a little bit, but it's stretching our calf. That's what we're working at here.
Okay, so
now another way to do that is what she's going to show, and this works really well.
Put your leg back. Hopefully you can see. I'm putting it back, either under your chair or to the side of your chair, and flex your foot forward as if you were pulling your toe towards here. That will pull your calves.
So if I had a chair, I'd be sitting in a chair. I'm sitting on the ground because I know we're going to be going on the ground here anyway. So I'm pulling my toes back. That's getting a good calf stretch for us here. That's what we're working on, is get this. Actually, let me sit over this way. We're getting those calves, the calves stretched out really well. You can feel that. You can feel that. Let's come out of that and let's kind of move them back and forth. That really had them tightened up, didn't it? So this next one is a stretcher for the groin. So you're going to need to be on the ground, on the floor. And if you have a little mat, that would be great. Not necessary. If you're on carpet, it's probably less necessary. We're going to bring our feet as close together out in front of us as we can. If you can get them fully together, that's fine. And then whether they're out or together, you're going to pull them back into you as far as you can. As far as you can. You're sitting up straight, and we're stretching our groins in here. That's what we're working at, is to stretch those groins.
So depending on your size, your mobility, you may just try to put your feet together in front of you. That's not getting the groin. If you're able to pull one leg up, pull one at a time so that you have good balance. One at a time so you have good balance. If you can pull both of them up, then do that.
Okay, we can release. Let's come out of that. So, great exercise for getting the mobility in there. Now this next one's a little more advanced. Those of you who are really stiff, You can set this one out, you can watch, you can imagine it, maybe you can try to adapt it to you. But it's going to be similar. We're going to tuck one leg back under the other.
That's the dance pose.
Yeah, the dance pose. Take the other leg back over the knee. Put our elbow behind our knee and twist ourselves around.
Okay.
If you can do this, great for you. This is getting a lot of muscles stretched in your body, from your upper back all the way down to your hamstrings. And
so I just crossed my leg across and put my arm here. If you cannot cross your leg, then just turn like that. We're going to try to cross our leg though.
I'm going to come out of it for those of us who started early. We're going to go the other direction now. Same thing, other direction. Nice stretch for our legs and our back. Feels good. Really getting it stretched out. Now, those of you who can't do this, work toward it. Do the movements that we're doing as much as you can and keep working up to it. You'll find if you can do this kind of a movement eventually, if you can work towards it to get that kind of mobility, it's going to help you a lot.
Maybe it will help them see my feet better if I do this.
Right. And quad stress, triceps. Okay. So we're going to do our tricep stretch a little different than we've done it. We're going to pull it over this way.
So you're moving this here.
Yeah, we're putting arm across us and then other arm behind it to pull it as much as we can. Pulling it over there, letting it stretch out. Getting a good stretch in it. And I mean, we use our arm a lot, and that tricep needs to really be flexible.
Rotating than your shoulders going out, and your rotator cuff. Even if you break your rotator cuff, my mom broke hers, and
we can release, go the other way.
Because if you don't use it, it will freeze.
Use it or lose it. Nothing, and nowhere does that apply more than it does to our joints and our muscles. And I will say to our bones as well. If we don't do the weight-bearing resistance kinds of exercises that demand our bones to be strong, we replace our cells frequently in our body. 100% of our cells are replaced. You'd be surprised at how fast. Okay, let that stretching out. We're going to do one more tricep stretch. This one is going to be the up and over the head. Pull it back with the hand. But we replace all of our cells. So when we're replacing them, if we've been making demands on them, our body says, I think I need a few more of these bone cells. I think I need a few more of these muscle cells because, wow, we're getting a lot of demand on this. So more is made.
You know, that's the same way.
And the more you get for muscles, the more you get for bones, the healthier you're going to be.
If you don't put much food in your body holds on to the food saying, I got to hold on to this. And you can get fat eating little amounts of food. If you eat the right amount and the right types of food, your body's happy. It just says, okay, just use it, let it go.
Food is fuel. You gotta have the fuel for function and for your structure as well. You're replacing the cells. You need the right substances, the right minerals in your body to replace those cells and to provide the energy to do all the movement that you're doing. Let's do some breathing now as we're cooling ourselves down. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Let's keep that breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. We're going to do one of our favorite relaxation. We're going to do the cat, cow. Just a slight movement. We're not trying to push or stretch now. We're just keeping things moving so that Our body is saying, oh yeah, we're slowing down. And it starts coming back to stasis, to your normal. A couple more of these. We're breathing, core is engaged. And we're going to rock ourselves down into the child pose. And there we can relax. Stay in that position. Just keep yourself relaxing. I'm going to say a few words here as we close out this exercise session today with our stretching that we've done. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of this. And I want you to know, I really appreciate the comments. I'm hearing from many of you expressing how this encouragement to exercise is helping, and how the exercises themselves are helping relieve some of your aches and pains, giving you courage to do a lot. I appreciate that. That's why I'm doing this, because I know it can help. I know we all need the encouragement, and it's good to hear it. Thanks for watching.